Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 5:30 News on KPAX, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, I'm Kent Lutzen. There are a pair of phone scams that are making the rounds in the Bitterroot Valley. Ravalli County Sheriff Steve Holton says that some people are being contacted by telephone and told that a relative, usually a grandchild, have been arrested in another jurisdiction. The caller will demand that the resident provide a credit card or wire money to provide bail for their relative. Holton said that people should contact their relatives and confirm with a law enforcement agency before ever sending money or providing payment information. Sheriff Holton added that another situation people have encountered is where a caller will identify themselves as a satellite television provider and offer to either remotely align the dish or fix some other reported problem with the resident's service. The provider will require additional billing or payment information and will withdraw money from the resident's account. According to Sheriff Holton, folks should refuse to provide any information and contact their satellite provider independently before providing any financial information. In Lake County, crews battled a house fire in Polson late last night. The blaze hit a home in the 500 block of 10th Avenue West. Fire officials report that everyone inside the home at the time made it out safely. Crews from Polson City, Polson Rural, and Finley Point Rural Fire Departments fought to get the blaze under control. The cause of this incident remains under investigation. Switching gears to weather, that sun has tried to shine through into many parts of the valley in western Montana, but still, it's been a pretty cloudy day out there. Let's go to meteorologist Russ Thomas for more. Russ?
Yeah, that's right. We shook the precipitation this morning. Rain was still there, and then it kind of moved out. We've seen cloud cover throughout the day, and yes, you can see the sun really trying to work its way through. It just did not happen. I do think there'll be a little more success tomorrow, but still, I think we're in for a pretty foggy start in our valley locations. As far as our temperatures go, a lot of 30s out there, a lot of mid to upper 30s, but there are a couple 40s. Missoula 40, Thompson Falls 40, we're looking at 35 Sealy, 36 Kalispell, 38 degrees in Polson. Again, fog in the valleys tonight is going to be pretty prevalent and pretty dense in some spots. We'll have more on that coming up.
Thanks, Russ. Dozens of veterans and their families gather today for the American Legion Post 101 and the Old Post Veterans Day ceremony. This is the 99th year they have held this event, and for the first time, it took place at Fort Missoula Regional Park. Missoula Mayor John Engen, representatives for Senator Daines and Senator Tester, and many others thanked the veterans for their service. Both the commander and vice commander of Post 101 spoke about veteran suicide rates and how getting veterans involved with their communities can help support them in this time of crisis. They reminded people that Montana has the highest rate of veteran suicide across the nation.
They're looking for reasons to live, and they're running out. And each and every day we have veterans deciding they have no more reason to live. And to me, that's a national tragedy.
After the ceremony, vets and their families headed over to a Grizz football tailgate hosted by the Montana Military Order of the Purple Heart. In addition, students and their families, police, fire, EMT, smoke jumpers, and all students who volunteered during this year's fire season joined them. In addition to the tailgate, veterans and emergency responders were also given free tickets today for the Grizz football game. MTN's Lauren Heiser has more on this story.
To honor not only veterans, but everyone who protects and serves, the University of Montana gave them the opportunity to attend today's game for free. More than 800 wildland firefighters, emergency responders, veterans, and their family members attended the game against the Northern Colorado Bears. Local sponsors, Grizzly Athletics, and the University of Montana all worked together to raise the money.
You know, it was really a community effort. A lot of people pitched in, a lot of donations came through, and the DNRC firefighters and the firefighting community around Missoula really responded to our invite.
President Sheila Stearns said that wanted to provide those who serve with the opportunity to spend time with their families.
All we wanted to do is say thank you guys, and thank you to the people who, like I said, protected our communities all year long in the forest fire season, and protect our community and our country every day at home and abroad in our military.
The Grizz seniors were also honored at today's game. Now back to you.
And speaking of those Grizz football players, the University of Montana Grizzlies took on the Northern Colorado Bears this afternoon and gave plenty of reason for the fans to cheer. Eric Clemens joins us live with more on the big game.
Yeah, that's right, Kent. This was the Grizzlies' last home game this season, and they put on a show. Montana came out early and hard against Northern Colorado. The Grizz were determined to make up for their loss to the Bears last year. They jumped out to an early lead, but the Bears caught up by the end of the half. the Grizzlies, well, they pulled through. And of course, we'll have full highlights on that coming up later in sports.
Thanks, Eric. In national news, Republican Senate candidate Roy Moore is pushing back against allegations that he sexually assaulted an underage girl decades ago. The former judge is also rejecting mounting pressure for him to back out of the race in Alabama. CBS News' Laura Podesta has more from New York.
While speaking at a Veterans Day event, former Alabama Judge Roy Moore vehemently denied that he ever made sexual advances toward a 14-year-old girl.
These attacks involve a minor, and they are completely false and untrue. They're very hurtful to me personally.
He also rejected claims that he gave his accusers alcohol.
I have not provided alcoholic beverages, beer, or anything else to a minor.
Moore was favored to win the Senate seat vacated by now Attorney General Jeff Sessions. But a Washington Post story accusing Moore of sexual misconduct has led to mounting pressure from within his own party for him to drop out of the race. The Republican Senate Campaign Committee stopped raising money for Moore, and Senators Steve Daines and Mike Lee rescinded their endorsements.
If they're true, you should step aside.
In Alabama, a handful of Republican lawmakers are sticking with Moore, including State Representative Ed Henry. He told a local newspaper that the women should be prosecuted if they thought Moore was predatory and allowed him to exist for 40 years. Moore reminded his supporters at Saturday's event that the Senate race in Alabama could have far-reaching implications in upcoming contests in 2018.
It may very well determine the future of our country. My opponent is 11 points behind. That came out just days before this article came out. They're desperate.
Moore said the people of Alabama will, quote, see through this charade. Alabama voters head to the polls in the special election next month. Laura Podesta, CBS News, New York.
Republicans currently hold a 52-48 majority in the U.S. Senate. Well, it's almost ski season, and after the break, we'll take a look at some big changes to one Montana ski resort. This story and more coming up.